Thank you. So before we dive into the questions, it would be helpful if you could both give us a brief introduction as to your roles and what customer experience means for you in your roles.
Thank you, Alana. I'm Wilfredo Perez. I'm the CIO of Movie Cinemas. And in this journey, the challenging part of the daily operations and running campaigns, I believe, is the communication and working together between marketing and technology. There is a procedure. For example, we started analyzing the whole journey, identifying the main touch points, and then deciding how to implement the data platform, and later how to build the campaigns, and in our case, using Braze, for example.
Awesome. And Mahmoud?
السلام عليكم. أنا أخوكم محمود مرزا, Chief Marketing Officer لموفي سينما. When I got a chance to become a panelist today with the Alana team, and thank you for this, hoping that myself and my colleague are sharing valuable insights to you guys. I made sure Wilfredo to be part of this because it's a confirmation that with today's words, marketing and IT are aligned always and need always to be together in achieving business objectives, especially that we're in an industry where 90% of our transactions actually are happening online. So that means as much as marketing has responsibility towards that, as well as IT. This IT will be the one who will issue vouchers for cinemas today for everyone here.
We'll help you do that. But exactly where we put this session together, we wanted to give you an actionable takeaway of beyond buzzwords, what does it actually mean to get that alignment between marketing and technology? And I couldn't think of two people better suited to do it. So I suppose let's start with how we kicked things off. Before every transformation comes a great vision. So Mahmoud, I'd love to hear from you. Before you partnered with Braze, what was the marketing vision or the ideal customer experience that you were inspired to create that led to you sort of working with technology to adopt this strategy?
In the beginning, as everyone knows, Movie Cinema is considerably still a new company. We are a 6-7 years old company in a quite premature industry where even cinemas in Saudi were allowed 7-8 years ago. So in the past period, our focus was opening more cinemas, ensuring that we have wide coverage in the kingdom. The cinema honeymoon and the demand for the cinema was quite high. Later on, after COVID came, and we have seen a massive drop in sales, that didn't stop us from growing. Still, we were heavily expanding in the Saudi. Today, we are about 33% market share in terms of screen numbers, but about 42% box office or sales share. And that relies to the expansion plan that we had. In this year or the year before, the focus was more towards, okay, now we have the premises, or now we have the sites, we have the customer data, how can we monetize that more and more? So in the past 6 years, it was more about collecting data, bringing people more to cinemas. Now is more about how to change their behavior. And to do something like that, of course, we need the muscles, or we need to have the resources to allow us to engage with our customers today.
Absolutely, and as everybody will know and understand, in order to make that marketing vision a reality, or that engagement vision a reality, you need the technology that underpins it. So I'd love to know, Wilfredo, from your perspective, how has the technology vision aligned to that marketing vision? What's been the key criteria that you've needed in your technology to action that strategy?
I believe that one of the key pillars that we built for building this technology was creating the CDP. The standard on the market can be customer data platform, but we also name it as a composable data platform, where it's the place where we have the unified data, we collect all the data and bring it to the CDP, and from the CDP we are able to distribute to the different platforms, and one of the platforms for sure is Braze, where we run the whole marketing automation. And challenge that we have was converting the data into a real-time way, building a platform based on event throwing through the platform and converting the classical or the transactional data into event and real-time data was of the big challenges, but at the same time was a big advantage that now we can run a campaign or trigger any action on the campaign immediately when the user complete an action or do any interaction or touch point on the whole flow in the platform.
Awesome. Okay, so we have the vision, and then we can see how you executed on it, which is fantastic. I'd love to know, Mahmoud, from your side, how do you balance the commercial elements like food and beverage, frequency of visit, with creating that movie-goer experience that you guys are famous for? How do you have any leading indicators for what this looks like? And I'd love to just get your thoughts on that.
Again, we are in a very diversified and very fast-paced industry, to be honest, and the objectives would vary from week to another. Eventually, the ultimate objective definitely to generate revenue. Nevertheless, that we don't jeopardize customer experience by enforcing business objectives, because eventually it needs to be balanced first, and second, it needs to make customer actually want to engage with the brand. Because if we overdo it, then customers will start feel that we are pushing we are pushing the sales or the brands towards them. I always say it. Do not make a sale, make a relationship. That's what we are trying to make here today. So we want people still feeling happy that they are engaging with the brand, nevertheless that they don't feel that they are enforced to make the sales. So yeah, we are in a world where today customers are quite smart. Customers, they cannot be like before marketing messages, brilliant taglines, headlines can sell. But today, in today's world with the new generation, they are smart, they are very fast-paced, and they are like on a seconds away from every post, from every communication. So that's what we are trying to do, is to balance and to ensure that, to create that relationship and bond with the customers. And we're always happy to see our open rates for emails, for push notification, for a lot of communication are exceeding sometimes 50%. So if that proves something that it's the right message to the right customer, to the right signal. And that's what we are trying to see. Eventually, it will definitely convert into a sale. Now again, back to the point, we are in a different industry where there are a lot of variables that contribute to our transaction or revenue. It's the content, it's the offering, it's the seasonality, a lot of things. So what we do is, we are in a brand that it's not a necessity, it's a complement, it's not, so we need to create the demand. How can we create the demand further and further? That's what we are trying to do.
Awesome. And I love that piece on creating relationships rather than sales, and I think that speaks to the success that you've had. Like, those push open rates are phenomenal, so well done to you two. And I think it's just also a testament to how well you both work together. So Wilfredo, I know you have, you know, really great frameworks like your 3 pillars, etc., for the architecture that underpins this. But also, if you'd like to speak to any examples, I know you did a cool cashback campaign. Like, how have you guys brought that to life with the tech? Whether it's your pillars or a campaign idea, I think it would be helpful for them to hear.
We can identify 3 main pillars on our platform. Probably the first one is using real-time data. Second pillar was creating a unified customer profile and store it and manage centralized in the unique platform. And third point was to use open tools and open platform-based all integrations in APIs that allows you to grow. We saw a platform like the platform that allowed us to grow, and we build a platform and system for marketing to operate independently and their own rules and their own campaigns without direct dependency on technologies for launching any campaign or for the daily operation, basically.
Awesome.
And I have to bribe his team with popcorn sometimes, so.
This is it. I mean, okay, we have about 4 minutes left. I want to ask you your key takeaway, both from a marketing and a tech perspective. But I think we can squeeze in maybe one more question before then, which is, how do you two work together? Like, what does the cadence look like for your teams or the vision setting? I think that would be a huge win for people to take away today that they can bring back to their organization.
How our popcorn is delicious, I think. No, but again, back to the point where today, especially in our domain or industry, seeing that 90% of our transactions are digital, so it's never IT and marketing. It's always together. Every project, any project that we are having, or even they have as well, that has to do with customer experience, has to do with application and website. It doesn't happen separately. It's always together. Whenever we have a new project, we always sit together, assign the objectives, ensure the KPIs are there from all aspects, and it's never blaming or pointing finger like who's doing whatever. It's all about the team effort. Yes, there are some technical stuff that the guys are looking after, but in general, everything that we do today is completely aligned together.
I remember the first meeting that I had when I joined the movie, that was with my movie. And that day we started aligning on how we can work together and what are the challenges. And then specifically for the Braze project, we sit together, we discuss again the whole user journey, we discuss the touch point, and we converted into data attribute, events, and data that we are sending to Braze and across all our systems.
And again, back to the point before, we used to have that objective of, again, expanding, opening cinemas, having operational excellence and as such. So in the past year and the next year was more about how to have actionable data, how to ensure that all the digital and technology initiatives that we are having today is led by an expert who knows how to utilize that data and how to structure it before that, how to utilize the data and make it more actionable. Because today, after 6 years in the business, we have the data. It's all about how to monetize that data. According to our numbers, if every customer in our database have visited the cinema 2 times a year, we met our budget. But how can we make it? That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to solve. And I think it's obvious how well you guys are working together because you put the customer at the heart of everything that you do. Okay, so I think the screen will start flashing shortly for us to leave the stage, but I would love for each of you to share, if you had to share one piece of actionable advice for marketeers and for technology leaders to leave them with today.
So my recommendation and my final phrase is don't build a system, build a solution that the whole company uses. And from the technical perspective, adding the CDP and event platform will simplify your life.
I would say in short, if it's good for the customers, it's good for the company. So again, at least in our domain where we need to create that relationship and bond with the customers, we don't expect instant sales for the movies that we're having today and as such. But in our business, if the customers are happy, the customers are perceiving the message, it means that it's reach out to them, it's back in their mind, and it's all about the sales are coming eventually. But eventually, if it's good for the customer, it's good for the business. That's what I believe.
Awesome, I love it. Okay, well, a big thank you and a big round of applause to our fabulous